Hi, this is Tranisha Cottrell, and today I wanted to talk about everything you need. So, what made me want to talk about everything you need is earlier today, like usual, I was listening to a sermon, and the pastor was talking about help for the holidays. It was PMJ, and he was just talking about different parts of the Bible. He was talking about Mary, and he was talking about the other lady who, when Jesus came to visit them, one of them was at his feet, washing his feet and things like that. And then the other one was fixing food and doing all this stuff. Like one of them took her perfume, and I'm making sure that I'm talking about the right story in the Bible. But one of them, gave poured a bunch of perfume on him, which was like, I think they said like what was equivalent to now $3,000 worth or something like that. It was a really large amount of money. And so, but I think back in the day they said something like nickels or something, but or pieces of silver is what it was, pieces of silver. And so, while one of them was spending time with God and doing things like that, the other one was being of service to God instead of appreciating the time to spend with him. And in his sermon, he just or the Bible study that they were doing, because it was just a group setting, and they were all like analyzing different parts of the Bible and what they pulled from the message and things like that, which I think is so helpful. And for me as a baby Christian, it really does help me learn because I can see it from different perspectives. Instead of it just being one person talking about one subject, I can see how other people can analyze or pull different things from the message and in their interpretation of the scripture. And so it allows me to see, like, even as a baby Christian, when God illuminates things for me, or when I start to get a revelation, I can see that this is actually true. Like, this is actually where I should be. And I'm not saying that I think that God expects me to be perfect, but when I'm forming a relationship with God, I also know that He wants me to be intentional and to be willing to learn and to listen and to be obedient and serve. And so whenever I'm listening to a message like this, I try to pull as much information as I can from everyone's perspective and not just one or the other. And so even though I might think like the first person, or I might have something in common with one of the individuals, when I hear everyone's perspective on it, it allows me to open my mind to a new horizon, to be able to take more information and to see it from different points of view, and really, like, even with my over analytical mind, it allows me to even think of that in those different ways. So it really helps me to learn more instead of just settling on one thing or the other. And so so as I'm listening to this message and I'm hearing about this, and the pastor preaches about, or they talk about how sometimes, when we have something like they had God in their presence, we don't really appreciate where we are. We're so busy focused on where we're going. And it really made me think about how that's how I feel in life. And I think that's how most people are. Sometimes we're so busy hustling that we don't take the time to appreciate the time with our family and our friends, or to appreciate the things that we have at this moment. I'm not saying we're settling for this. We are appreciating it. We are thankful and grateful for the things that we have, and we also are seeking for more. Not seeking it because we feel like we're being ungrateful or anything like that, but seeking more because we know that God is the God of abundance, and because He doesn't want us to settle. He doesn't just want us to stop and just to not do anything with our lives. He wants us to continue to prosper. And in order for us to do that, we have to keep moving forward. But that doesn't mean to not take a moment and to appreciate the things that we do have. And I think that's something that I really want to be intentional with in this season. I really want to make sure that I appreciate every moment that I have, and appreciate the things that I have in this moment. Like, one thing, I know I always talk about relationships for some reason, but but one thing that I think I really want to appreciate in this season is being single. And I know I say that in a lot of different videos, but every time I say it, I'm thinking of it from a different angle. Like, I might have been in the past thinking of it like, oh, I get to go wherever I want, whenever I want. But I also didn't think about it like if there's, like, for example, this week I've been spending a lot of time with my family. I'm not saying that if I'm with someone, I won't spend that much time with my family, but I might be splitting my time between my family and this person. So, as much time as I possibly get with my family, I need to be appreciating it at this moment. not just, and I know sometimes we don't think about it like that. Sometimes we think about, girl, I could just go out and do what I want. Like, yes, you could do whatever you want, in boundaries, like not just, you know, out of control doing the most, like over there out in these streets, like no, like like, still being like respectful of yourself and honoring yourself, but having fun. And I don't think that just because you're a Christian means that you don't have fun. I think you still have fun, but it's fun in a way that you could still stay focused, like PMJ had talked about in the message. He had talked about how he noticed one of the people he was talking about, just staying focused on this, this, and this, but he didn't want to pull the fun or the excitement or anything from the person that he was helping or whatever, because he wanted her to stay focused on her faith, but to also have fun. And he was so like, just saying what's next or saying what else she should be doing, that he wanted to make sure that he didn't make it so that she was just only focused on that and not having a healthy balance. And I think that's what we need to do as well. Just have that healthy balance in life and really know, like, okay, I'm doing this, this, and this, and I'm working hard. I'm being a good steward of my funds, my finances, and things like that. And I'm also being focused on, the things that I need to do. I'm also making sure that I'm enjoying my life. I'm not just, it's all constantly work and no fun. It's work and fun. I get to, and I don't think that at work you're just having fun all the time. Of course, you lead with love and kindness, and you do the best that you can to make sure that you are treating people the right way. And you also, I'm not saying that you can't laugh at work, but you are focused and you're working diligently. You're not just, you know, using the company's money just for your own free time or something else. And you're really being a good steward. You're really being God-like. You're really being Christ-like. You're not just trying to use anyone in your life. You're really just doing the best that you can. And it's so funny though, because every time I think about how constant my life usually is, or how much I'm always constantly on the go, or like, a lot of people talk about hustling and different streams of income. And I think having different streams of income is so great, because especially since it's a lot different than, back in the day when it was like you go to a 9 to 5 and that's the job that you have. Now there's so many different ways to make money, which I really appreciate with this generation and with the new technology and everything else. And I also think that just because we can make it doesn't mean that we shouldn't still appreciate our life as well. Like, having that healthy balance is really good. And I know some people will say work life balance is a fallacy, that it's not really something that could be realistic, because when you're giving to one area, you're pulling from another area. And that's true to an extent. But I also think that in life, like, with me, what I like to try to do is, if I have a schedule for my career, whatever else, or my entrepreneurship, whatever else it is that I'm doing, or solopreneurship, then I am scheduling everything so that I have like a time for everything during the day. Does the schedule stay the same? And do I deviate from the schedule sometimes? Yes, because life happens and you can never plan for life, but you could plan for the day. And when life happens, it happens. You just have to be willing to know that you're not God. God is God, and things are going to happen the way that they're intended to. So for me, when I'm scheduling my day and I'm getting up and, I'm doing my devotional in the morning, I'm praying, spending time with God, and I get up and my feet hit the floor, and I'm, doing my 3-step cleanser and brushing my teeth first, because I don't want to have that toothpaste situation all over my face. So, so brushing my teeth and, doing the tongue scrape thing and, doing the Listerine, which is the doctor. One day I'm going to get the name so I can tell someone what it is, but it's like TheraBreath or something like that. But it has like all these different scents, and the bottles are like really cute, but I don't get it because of the bottle. I get it because it's really good and it really does work really well. So if you're someone who just wants that like fresh taste, like, and it's not like when you're eating it, like you have to wait 5 minutes after you use it anyways before you eat. And usually what I would do in the morning is I would have a glass of water. So, so I do that. I do the whole brush teeth situation, Listerine, tongue scrape, floss, everything, 3-step skincare program. And then after I do that, my hair is usually like lately I haven't been putting in a high puff because every time I do my hair, like it starts doing like the step ladder thing at the bottom. And if I'm gonna wear my hair out, I try to make sure that I keep it down. So I'll just like band it or something. And then I'll just take the things off the end. So when I go to work out, like when I go to take a shower, I'll just put it back. But I'll do that in the morning. I'll have a glass of water. And well, before I have a glass of water, what I'll do since I have to wait before I eat and drink anything, since I do the Listerine TheraBreath thing, then I will go and I'll do like a couple crunches and I'll do like these. I think I have, let's see, I think it's about 5 exercises, like 5 quick exercises that I do in the morning because it releases endorphins and endorphins make you happy because it's stimulating you and it allows you to like start the day off on the right foot. So you're already focused on God. You already have this energy built up because you're doing like little exercises and you don't have to go full course. I mean, of course, if you like to work out in the morning, you can. For me, I just do like 5 simple exercises in the morning and sometimes it'll be like a floor exercise. And I just do that. That takes about maybe 15 minutes, something like that. And I know some people are like, I don't want to do 15-minute workout and then work out again. I know it's not for everyone. I just do it because it works for me and it gets me off on the right foot and allows me to have a positive attitude throughout the day. So I do that and then I go to the kitchen, I make a glass of water and I do I'm not like promoting this, so you do what your doctor tells you to do. But I do a glass of water and I drink it until it's like this much left. And I put a couple drops of chlorophyll in it. And chlorophyll is something that helps your like skin stay like toned or whatever. So it's the thing that gives plants the green coloration or the pigmentation of a plant. And so it's really good for energy and your metabolism and things like that. So I drink that in the morning and then I go to work. And if I'm working from home, usually what it looks like is I'm working throughout the day. I take a lunch break and I go exercise. Exercise for about 20, 22 minutes. And it just depends. Sometimes it's 20 to 30 minutes. Let's just say that. And what I'll do is I'll exercise. I After I exercise, I'll go take a shower and I'll put my hair, back in a little ball or up in a ball. However my hair is for that day, I'll do it that way. And before I get in the shower, I always cleanse my face again because the sweat and everything, and I don't want to have my pores clogged up or anything. So I do that, and then after that, I moisturize and I use like this. I got this glow stuff from Lisa. It's called Glow Butter and it's so good. Like in the summertime, if you want your legs and your skin to just, I mean, don't do it if you're going to be out in the sun all day because, when you put Vaseline and stuff on, it really does make you tan a lot. So, but I do use it in the summer, especially if I'm like just going to be in, just running errands out and about, like doing something quick like that. And I'm not just going to be on the beach. So when I'm out and about, I'll use the Glow Butter or Vaseline and I'll use Vaseline lotion or I'll use, what's the other one I used to use? I can't remember what the other brand was, but it's always like the cocoa butter version with like, for extra moisture and dry skin or something like that. So I use that and I use the Vaseline and or the, Glow Butter. And I'll use that on like certain places just to make my skin glow. So it'll be like certain areas that I'll do and it'll be like the areas that usually need like the most moisture. So like I might do like my hands before like I'll do satin hands, which is like this another 3-step thing. I know it probably sounds like the most, but I like to take care of my skin and my body and my teeth and my your mouth health and your body health is just so important. It's so important to me because I want to show God that I'm taking care of my temple. It's not because I'm trying to like prove something to someone else. It's because for me, like it's another version of self-care and it really makes me feel like I'm appreciating myself. And because I appreciate myself when someone else comes into my life, they will know, like, I wouldn't expect anything less. You know what I'm saying? So instead of me just being like, oh, whatever, like, I'm not putting in all this effort just so, you could just be like, oh, I just breadcrumb you, like, I'm not doing all of that for nothing. I'm doing it because I'm trying to stay focused on God. And when God knows the type of person who's supposed to be a part of my life, they will reap the benefits of all the things that I'm doing, but it'll be because I'm taking care of myself, not because I'm doing it for them, if that makes any sense. And so, so I mean, not just saying I would stop because I got with someone, like I would still want to have self-care so that I'm appreciating myself, because no one can know how to treat you unless you know how to treat yourself. Unless you truly respect yourself, no one else is going to respect you, because they are only going to treat you how you accept them to treat you. And I say accept because you could say, you could be like the baddest thing walking. If somebody comes to you and they spit in your face, I'm not saying, like, I'm not wishing that on anyone. I'm just saying if they do that and you're just like, oh, okay, it's fine, then that's how they're going to think they could treat you. Now, if you have a conversation and you have boundaries and standards already, they're going to know, this person either requires too much or or they're going to know, like, you're not the one. And sometimes it's going to be difficult. I got to be real with you. Like, it's not just going to be easy. Like, it's it's slim pickings out there. It's not slim pickings. I'm just joking. I mean, like, when it comes to respectful people, I've met a ton of respectful people, surprisingly. I've met a ton of people who are nice people. And I'm not going to say surprisingly, because I think that people should be nice. And I'm just saying that when it comes to the specific person that God has for you, not every person is going to be for you. And sometimes it's going to get difficult, especially when you see someone that you like that doesn't like you. It's going to get difficult when you want something that you can't have. It's going to get difficult when God says no and you're like, but it doesn't make any sense, or whatever else. But just hold on. It's going to be fine. Like, everything is going to work out the way that God intended it to. And even though it might not seem like it at the moment, even though it might be, you might have hard times where it might be a struggle, like, you're going to be okay and everything's going to be fine. Like, God's got you. You don't have to worry about anything. You need not concern yourself with these things, because God's got this. You know what I'm saying? So, so, like, it's so true though. Like, every time I feel like I'm going to be anxious about something, I remember, be anxious for nothing. Like, and every time I think of, like, me being weak, I hear, like, in my head the scripture of, like, he'll be strong when you're weak. Like, he could be the strength when you're weak. Every time I think about he is strong, every time I think about, being the type of person that I want to be, I think about being patient and kind and understanding and long suffering. And yes, long suffering, because it's going to be really hard if you don't work on yourself for you to just want to throw stuff in someone else's face and keep records of wrongs. But when you are trying to be godly, when you're trying to be a better person, you know that that's not helping anyone. It's not benefiting you or the person you're with. It's just making you more resentful, and that's not godly. And so it's like, every time I think about how I used to be, or things that I would want to settle for, I read a scripture and it shows me that I can't settle for less. Like, I can't settle for anything less than God has for me. And sometimes it's hard. It's real hard, because the super easy stuff is the stuff that you don't really need. And the stuff that really takes discipline, that really takes hard work, and you have to really truly work on things that you thought that you buried a long time ago, or things that you never thought you had to deal with, or things that you forgot about. It's going to come back up, and you just have to face it head on. You have to go through it. You have to pray through it, and it's not going to be easy. Some people will look at you and they'll say, you don't look like what you've been through, but it's because it's God. Like, when people see me, and this is not like a humble brag at all, but it's not a humble brag at all. And when people see me and they say, oh my gosh, like, they'll read, like, this book or something, learn from my missteps. That was a humble brag. They'll, they will, they will say, I had no idea you went through that. Like, you don't even look like the things that you've been through. And I'm like, it's all God. Like, because I want to make sure I give all of the glory to God. Like, you don't understand. I don't want anyone to ever think that I just take care of myself because I want to take care of myself. No, I take care of myself because I honor God, because I want to make sure that I'm making God proud. I want to make sure I'm taking care of my temple. I want to make sure that my mind is focused on Him. I want to make sure that my soul is clean. Like, I want my heart to be where God intends for it to be, to have a good heart posture. I want to lead with love and kindness. Like, that's the type of person I want to be. And it's not because I want to impress anyone. The only person I'm trying to impress is God. Like, I want God to know that I'm different, that I'm not the same person that I used to be a long time ago, that I'm the type of person that He can trust with other things in life. Like, I'm the person, like He's got the right person. And even though sometimes I don't think I deserve any of the blessings that I get, I really truly want God to know that I'm focused, like I'm there where He intends for me to be. And I don't ever want to go ahead of Him. Sometimes it's tempting because it's like, oh, you got to wait here. And I'm like, what am I waiting for? Like, I got all of this other stuff done. What else do I need to do? And God's like, just wait. And after the last time I went ahead of God, you don't have to worry about me doing that again. Cause oh my gosh, like, ugh, God saw me struggle in that moment. Like, I was like, goodness gracious, talk about catastrophe. Like, oof. Oh, it didn't look good. It did not look good. It was bad. It was real bad. I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I had almost forgot. Like, this is what it looks like, Nisha, when you do things. And then, then I did that, and I was like, that's exactly why I'm following God, because, because if it's left to me, it's not gonna be good. So we need to just stay focused on God and do what God says that needs to be done, like for real. And so it's so funny because every time I think about how, or every time I feel like I got things figured out, or like I'm like, oh, it's gonna happen like this. God's like, not yet. And I'm like, okay. Like, I understand that, you do have to be patient. And I definitely, absolutely don't want anything prematurely. I don't want God to give me something before my time. I want to make sure that I am taking in every single moment, every single lesson that I need to learn. I want to make sure I'm pulling everything I can from it. Like, with the situation with me jumping ahead, I just learned that never go ahead of God. I knew that before, but I don't have to ever question that again. And also, like, just being patient. Like, I know that I have struggled with patience in the past because I'm just so, like, just ready to just go. I'm just always ready to just be so, like, quick to make a decision and quick to do things in my life. And God is saying, like, no, you're going to need to slow down, because some things are going to take work. Some things are going to take time. Some things are going to I'm going to need to bake in the background before you could pull them out of the oven. You can't just have this right now. You can't have this raw meat. You can't have this medium well. I'm trying to give you the steak well done. I'm trying to give you your life well done. And in order for me to say, well done, my good and faithful servant, I'm going to need you to be obedient. I'm going to need you to be patient. I'm going to need you to be a good steward. I'm going to need you to be following behind me, to actually let me lead you. And and I know this now. Like, I knew before, but I really know now. Like, I know. I know. And so it's just, oof, every time I feel like I know everything, God's like, skirt. No, you don't have all the answers, so you still need to wait for this. And I'm like, yes, Lord, because completely yes. Like, I don't have anything, I don't have a rebuttal. There's nothing I can say or do, because I know that whatever it is that you got is way better than anything I could come up with. Like, and then you saw what I did in the past. So we both know I definitely need to follow your lead, because oof, like, you saw me struggle in a couple of videos, but if you had saw me in the past, you would be like, is that the same person? I mean, it kind of looks like her, but you'd be like, So yeah. definitely follow God's lead because He will take you wherever it is that He intended for you to go. And even though sometimes it's going to be difficult, sometimes it's not going to be what you expect, sometimes it's not going to turn out the way that you wanted it to, whether it's a person, place, or thing, it'll always be what God saw as being a part of your journey to make you stronger, to make you wiser, to make you better, to make you more emotionally intelligent, to make you more patient, to make you more kind, to make you able to guide your heart but still be vulnerable, to allow you to see what a good person is, to show you what life could look like, to show you that even though this seems good, I've got better. Like, and even when you can't imagine how anything could be better than this, like, and a good example of this for me is when you go out. I got this example from someone, but they were using it for something else, but I'm going to use it for this. So, a good example is when you first start working or whatever, and you get a job and the job pays like less than 20,000 a year. And you're like, "Oh my gosh, I really wish that I could make 20,000 because if I could make $20,000, I might be good. I could, you know, that would be the goal for me." And so you make 20,000 and you realize 20,000 isn't as much as you thought it was, and you're like, if I could just make 10,000 more, I would be good. You make 32,000 or something like that. And you're looking around and you're like, "Man, I still don't seem like I'm where I wanted to be." And you're like, if I could just make 50,000, you make 50,000. And you're like, 50,000 is good. And your next goal is, I'm going to make 100,000. Because you're like, if I can make 50,000, then maybe if I can get to six figures, I will be exactly where I need to be. You make it to six figures and you're like, I thought figures was like being a millionaire. And you're like, you know what? I want to be a millionaire, or I want to make 300,000. Then you make 300,000, you want to be a millionaire. And it just keeps going on and on and on. But every place that you were at, you thought looked was where you needed to be. You thought that was the place to be. You felt like if I was at this area, I got everything I need. It looks so fascinating. It looks so amazing at that one area, at that place in your life that you're at that time, for the things that you need in your life at that time. You have everything that you need in that $30,000 income. Everything that you think you need. You might want more finances to do more things, maybe to go somewhere on the weekend or plan a family vacation or something, but you just feel like this is exactly where I want to be. I can't imagine anything better than this. Like you're saying you want more, but you just couldn't imagine being at that position when you started. That's exactly how I feel like God is in our life. When we are at like the below 20,000 range, and nothing's wrong with any of these incomes. I'm not getting on any income at all. I'm just using this as an example. But we are at below 20,000, and God's like, I'm trying to take you to the next level. He's trying to take you to 30. I mean, right at 20. Then you get that 20, he's trying to take you to 30. Then you get at 30, he's trying to take you to 50. He's trying to take you wherever you are allowing him to go, to lead you in your life. And he could take you so far, but we are the ones that stop because we feel like that's good enough. We feel like, okay, we make this amount, that's fine. And God's saying, I got so much more for you. And sometimes it's really hard to see it before you get there, which is why you have to follow God, because He knows every avenue you have to take. He knows every decision that you have to make to get there. He knows all of the things that you have to do to be able to be at your full potential. But you won't be able to see that starting below 20,000. You won't be able to see that until you get to 1,000,000. And the only way that you get there is with God. You have to have faith. It's not something you could plan for yourself. It's not something that you could even imagine. You would never even know that this was possible without God. But with God, anything's possible. So, in conclusion, whenever you are going through life, whenever you're doing anything, and you just feel like you got to keep hustling and grinding, you got to keep going and going and going because it's endless, and you got to beat the other person, you got to beat the other person there, you have to do all of these things just to prove that you're supposed to be there. It's nothing wrong with working hard, but appreciate everything that you have at this moment. Take advantage of the moment that you're in. Take advantage of the things that you have right now. Take advantage of the you having a shelter, a place to live, somewhere to go. Take advantage of the fact that you have family and friends in your life that you can spend time with at this moment that are all here on this earth with you right now. Take advantage of the job that you do have. You might not want to always stay at this job, but maybe this is the job that you can learn a lot of things from. Maybe you can learn how to be a stronger person. You can learn how to stand up for yourself in the most respectful way. You can learn how to be a good steward of your finances because you want to take advantage of the amount of income that you're getting in. Maybe you meet new people. Maybe you're going different places, and at those places you get to see that you actually can do different things that you never even imagined you'd be able to do. And it will allow you to be able to go to the next position or to another job or whatever else it is. But you won't know that until you appreciate the moment that you're in, until you take advantage of everything that you have. God can't bless you with more unless you're being a good steward of the things that you have. In the position that you're at work, at the job that you have at work, with the colleagues that you have at work. And I'm not saying you have to get along with everyone, but you should lead with love and kindness, and you definitely need to stand up for yourself in the most respectful way. You definitely have to say how you feel in a very respectful way. You don't have to just start an argument or be super disrespectful to your boss or any people in your job, and don't just keep on pushing for stuff that you don't actually need. I mean, things that actually matter. And also, when it comes to your family and friends, appreciate the people in your life. Appreciate the time that you get to spend with them. Appreciate the places that you get to go with them, the things that you get to do. Like some people were talking about Thanksgiving and how they were just like, oh, I gotta see Aunt such and such. And it's just like, okay, I get, that your aunt can be like a little whatever and everything else. And you don't have to be there. Some people might be mad, but your sanity, your mental state is so much more important than pleasing somebody else. And also, if it's something that's not a huge deal, if it's just something annoying that that person does, just take in that moment and appreciate that because that aunt might not always be there or whatever else. And I'm not saying that you should put up with crap. I always use crap because I don't say, I try not to get too like vulgar or whatever else. And so I just I really just, I really think that it's the time to just really appreciate all your friends and family members. Like, don't just put up with anything. And also appreciate the moment that you're in. Appreciate the house that you're in. Like, you might want to move into a mansion one day. You might want to live in a house on the hill with a picket fence. I don't know. Because I always hear that in people's stories. I don't know what that's about, but I guess it's a thing. And so you might want a different car. But are you cleaning your car? Are you like putting the right type of gas in it? Because you know how we try to do when we try to cut corners sometimes. But that gas is going to cause more issues with your car if you don't put the right type of gas in there. So make sure that you're actually taking care of it the right way. Make sure you're actually cleaning the car inside and out. Like your body, you might say, oh, I just want to lose another 5 pounds. Are you taking care of your body now? Are you eating healthy, or are you exercising or walking? Are you trying to make sure that you are dressing your body in an appropriate way? Like sometimes you might wear stuff that might end up smushing your organs because you're wearing it too tight, or you might wear something that's smothering you, that's not allowing you to appreciate the body that you have. Or when it comes to your nails, are you cleaning your nails? I mean, if even if you don't have polish on, are you making sure they're clean? They're nice, neat, clean. Are you cleaning your cuticles? Are you making sure you're oiling your cuticles and your hands are nice and moisturized so they're not super rough and cracked? Like you want to get your nails done, but you aren't even appreciating the nails that you have right now. Before you start doing all of that, make sure you're taking care of the things that you have at this very moment. Like my hair, I'm trying to grow my hair out to to waist length. I want my hair to be right here. I don't know why. I really had, so this is like a goal that I set for myself a while back, and I kind of forgot about it because I was like, oh, it doesn't really matter as long as like I put my hair in a ball. And so I settled for it without really taking care of my hair. Like I stopped massaging my scalp. I stopped doing scalp massages. I stopped doing the inversion method, which is something that you do like once a week, every month. And I still do protein treatments, and I would do like a regular wash day schedule, which I still do protein treatments and a regular wash day schedule, but I do not massage my scalp as much as I used to, like when I first started growing my hair out. And so in the past, I guess since December started, I've been like massaging my scalp more because my in order for me to reach my goal, what I was supposed to do is do the inversion method, massage my scalp, and do the overnight thing, and protein treatment, and be on a wash day regimen, which I have not done any of that stuff. So I feel like my goal for December 31st is probably gonna have to get pushed back to March or something, depending on how long my hair is, which I have not measured it because I'm just trying to let it be a surprise. Even when my hair was straight, I would just kind of curl up the end so I still couldn't tell how long it was. So that's my goal. My goal is to reach right here. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna try to be like a good steward and really take care of my hair. And I'm gonna start finger detangling instead of just using a wide tooth comb because I think that's giving me a lot of like breakage and things as well. So you see me wear my hair out more often. So I don't know if you could tell, but even like through here, like where it's all like curly and stuff, this part is growing out. But when I kept putting it in a ponytail and wearing wigs all the time, it was really like my edges were like getting ripped out of my hair. So I have to keep it like this. And you might see me put it in like a low ball or something like that. But I'm really trying not to put too much tension on the front, the edges of my hair, because at this moment, I want to take care of it. And even when it comes to your house, like I was saying, you might want to mansion. Make sure that you're cleaning your house, you're cleaning your bathrooms, you're wiping down things, you're being a good steward of the house that you have. You're making sure that you are doing all the things that you need to do with the house that you have so that if God does bless you with more, or when he blesses you with more, he will see that you took care of it even before it was something that you wanted, even before it was something that you had desired. And even when it comes to a future person, you want someone to be a good communicator, work on your communication. You want someone who's going to be, who's going to honor and respect yourself. Because if you don't do that, they're not going to know how to treat you. And you definitely don't want to be in a toxic relationship with someone who will never value you because then you might as well just be alone. And also, when it comes to your finances, you say, like I was using the example with all the different types of money that you have. If you want to be a millionaire, a billionaire, be a good steward of your funds now. Find different streams of income, find different ways to make money. Like start doing something that's your dream work. Set aside time for your dream. Like 30 minutes to an hour, maybe starting out, or a couple I do a couple hours a day usually. And now that I'm on a schedule, I can kind of stick to it more. So if there's things like I have little goals that I set for myself throughout the week. And what I used to do is I'd have a big goal for the end of the week or the end of the month just so I could have little things that were pushing me towards it, like I did with the book. I would do like a couple pages a day. So by the end of such and such, the book would be finished. And I ended up reaching my goal. And so I think that's what we need to do with our life. Like if you're saying, like me with my hair, if I'm saying I want to grow my hair, I need to be intentional. I need to make sure I am finger detangling maybe instead of combing. I need to make sure I'm massaging my scalp for 15 minutes to 30 minutes a day. I need to make sure that I'm doing protein treatments if my hair needs protein. I'm moisturizing. Maybe I even need to invest in a steamer. I don't know, just to add more moisture into my hair, just different things. Taking my time, appreciating the things that I have, appreciating the funds that I do have, being good steward so that when I make a million, I won't just make a million go, I'll make a million stay. And it was someone who said it, but I can't remember who it is. They said something like, it's easy to make money, it's hard to keep it. And I truly believe that because any person could spend money, but when it comes to making it, when it comes to being a good steward and investing in things or creating different streams of income and saving, not a lot of people can or are willing to do that. And I think that's something that we all need to like look within ourselves and really figure out how we can make the most of the moment that we're in right now instead of always trying to seek for what's next. And it's nothing wrong with setting a goal and also being intentional with your life and making sure that every single moment that God gives you, everything that God has blessed you with, you are grateful and thankful and appreciating it because then God can bless you with much more.